Alright, I get it. Everybody and their mom reviewed this movie, but I actually like this one a lot, so I have to talk about it for you guys. Welcome back, guys. I finally watched the movie It, and I had a really good time watching this film. Now, when I say a good time, I'm probably going to be in the minority when I say that I really didn't find this movie scary, but I really found it entertaining. Here we have a killer clown that can pretty much turn into your worst nightmare, which is actually pretty cool. I feel like some of the practical effects that they used for those monsters were pretty cool, but then they used some CGI that was pretty noticeable, and sometimes it took me out of the film itself. Now, let me get right into what I liked about this movie. Aside from the way that this movie was shot, directed, and the cinematography overall, everything was great. Like the musical choices, the setting that they were going with was really good. Like, I mean, they let us know this was the 80s, not just by text, but also showing us a Nightmare on Elm Street was playing at the time, which is kind of funny because in a way this movie reminded me of that. It kind of reminded me of Freddy Krueger kind of meets Stand By Me, which is a really good movie about these kids going on this journey trying to find these dead bodies or whatever. No, the best thing about the movie itself is the kids. Man, their chemistry works so well in this film, and they actually feel like kids, like actual kids, like kids talking to each other. Like they're cursing, they're making fun of their moms. And one thing that I found surprising in this film was that these kids were hilarious. Like the movie itself is funny. The two standouts for me, aside from Bill, because he's the main person here. He's the one that like anchors them down. He's the one that's like focusing on trying to find Georgie or trying to figure out what happened to him. Those two would be Beverly and Eddy, because Beverly is very like heroic in this movie. She has a great role in this film, and I can actually see her going pretty far in her acting career because she was amazing. And then on top of that, I liked Eddy not only because that's my name, but because he was pretty hilarious. Like he was that nerdy kid that like is always in your group of friends that just won't shut up about, you know, being careful about everything. And I really liked him because sometimes I can be that way. It's just a coincidence that his name is Eddy too. As far as Bill Skarsgård as Pennywise the clown, I think he was amazing. I think he was great. I think he was scary for the scenes that he was shown in. There were times in the movie itself where I feel like I wanted more out of him. And that's not because of his performance. That's mainly due to the fact that they only gave him so little time in some of the scenes. There are long scenes and there are short scenes with him. The short scenes with him didn't really work for me as well, but that's because he would just kind of just stand there and like just randomly like jump at the screen, and it felt pretty like CGI to me. So I was like, okay, you know, like that's okay. But the scenes where he's just like standing there holding a balloon and like just looking creepy and smiling back at the camera, it's just like, oh shit, like this guy is freaking scary. And also the scenes where he's like standing over the kids, and in one sequence he's standing over Eddy where he breaks his arm. He's just like drooling away, like just like slobbering, like he's about to eat him. And I thought that was amazing. And it was so freaking scary just looking at that. Like I was like, god damn, Bill Skarsgård was amazing. As far as comparing Pennywise's, I don't know. I feel like both of them were great. Obviously, in the TV series, Pennywise was iconic because he was hilarious in that movie. And in this one, I feel like it works so well because it's an actual film and it's a rated R movie. And I think that for both, they work pretty great. But if I had to choose one, I don't know. I feel like I would go with Tim Curry's Pennywise. I don't know why. I think I liked his a little bit better, but that's because I just liked how funny he was. As far as the relationship between like Beverly and the kids, and you know how they have like this weird relationship and how they do this thing, I think in a cave or something like that, where they kind of all hook up. They kind of give hints at that throughout the movie, and I was just like, oh, like, you know, just don't do that in the movie. I mean, it's already weird enough, but they do give us hints as far as, you know, yeah, there's a connection between all these kids, like, which is like a really tight connection, but they don't show that much in the movie. But they do like tackle on that whole issue with Beverly being like a slut and stuff like that, which freaking sucks because they do it so much in the movie, and I was just like, oh man, these kids are brutal. Now, the scary elements in the movie itself and the suspense building is great. I really like it, but it only scared me twice. It's not because Pennywise wasn't scary or anything like that, but it's like I felt like I saw this movie already with the TV series, and when I watched it as a little kid, I was terrified. I was so terrified of Pennywise. I did not like clowns for a long time, but I watched it again like a year ago when the first trailer came out, or maybe a couple months ago, and I did a reaction video to that in a review to that. That's a plug. But then I realized that I wasn't scared. I still found the movie very interesting, but I didn't find the clown as scary. But I can say that in this movie, they do a better job as far as building the suspense and getting me there to where I would get scared. Like, there's a lot of jump scares in this film, which were pretty good, especially one of the scenes where Beverly is like being chased around by her father, and she just turns around and out of nowhere Pennywise is there. I think 80% of the people in my theater freaking jumped, including myself. It was a great scene and a great moment just to share with all the people in the theater. It was fucking awesome. And then the other scene that really got to me was the scene with the projector, where it just freaking pops out of the projector. Like, he looks humongous and he's just like stomping around and like the lights are flickering on and off, and I was just like, oh my god, that's freaking crazy. The only complaints I would really have about this movie is that I felt like the adults were a little bit scarier than Pennywise. Like, they had like this super mysterious like creepiness about them. Like, every time the camera would just focus on one of the parents, like as far as like Eddie's mom or like Beverly's dad, like it was just creepy. Like, there was super like dark tensions going on there, and like it felt like I was like, oh god, like this is not gonna end well for these kids. They have to worry about this freaking clown that's out there, and now they gotta worry about their parents. And that's not even like a big complaint that I have. It's just one thing that, you know, like they made the parents seem more scarier than the clown, which is not bad, because I feel like they're gonna take, you know, like the reactions that the people got out of this film and they'll add on to it to chapter 2. You know, maybe they'll make him scarier and they'll build like more suspense and like more like creepier moments with Pennywise. Maybe we'll get to see him a little bit more on screen where he's like talking. Whenever he was on screen talking like up close to the kids and not like shaking the camera or like running towards you, I think those were the best moments. You know, like at the end of the movie, I felt like it was getting a little bit too long. Like I kind of got tired, and I don't know if that was because of like all the suspense that was going on, but it felt like it had two endings to the film, because one is where they enter this haunted house looking type of thing, and I was like, oh wait, is this the ending? Because that's not how I remember it from the TV series. But then it's like, oh wait, there it is, you know, this is what really happens. So I feel like those two things were like separated, and it kind of confused me and threw me off, and I was like, okay, well, I was expecting an ending now, but I got it later. To me, it just felt a little bit long. And there's also a scene in there where Beverly, you know, sees the blood in the bathroom, and the kids decide to like clean it up or something like that. But I don't know, it just, to me, it felt unnecessary that they had to show the entire sequence where they're just cleaning up the blood. I was like why? But yeah, guys, I am gonna give this movie a 4 out of 5. I think it was great. I would suggest go watch it if you guys are into like Stephen King novels, or if you guys really like the It movie from like back then in 1990. I think it's a great watch. Like, I had a lot of fun. Like I said, I didn't think this movie was scary as hell like people are saying it is. Maybe I am the minority here. So yeah, guys, those are my thoughts on the movie. If you guys like this movie, please let me know in the comments. Also, tell me what you didn't like, because I keep hearing all the stuff that people like, but at the same time, I like to hear, you know, what they didn't like, because I'm picky as hell too, and there's just some things about movies that I don't like. But overall, this film was great. Even though, like I said, CGI wise, it was pretty noticeable, but it didn't take me out of the film. Also, let me know which Pennywise was better for you. Was it Tim Curry's or Bill Skarsgård's performance better? Like, but yeah, guys, if you guys like this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Also, if you guys are new to my channel and you guys like my content, please subscribe and hit the little bell at the bottom. But as always, guys, stay tuned.